There are words I know in one language and concepts that I know in one language, and they may not exist in another language. So they allow me to imagine things, they allow me to understand things and dimensions I wouldn't have otherwise. So over time, I've picked up a knowledge of 5 languages. I was born with 2, English and Spanish. I learnt French from the age of 8. I added Italian, playing football, and I got to know a reasonable amount of Portuguese. I was born with a good ear for languages and a curiosity and an interest in learning other languages. So what are the cultures that those languages have been created by, and what happens in those places? Maybe if there is an explanation for the choices that I've made, it's quite connected to that at its origin. So I joined the OECD in April of 2008. It was a known quantity to an extent, and then you realize how much you don't know when you join. I remember likening it to Ali Baba's cave. You know, you walk in and it's sort of quite hidden in a way. I mean, literally, it's hidden in Paris. To get to the OECD is not an easy thing to do. The side streets you have to walk through, the little signs in this area. You discover an organization that has so many things inside it. And then I think that the timing of my joining was pretty unique. Here you were in an organization in a sense that could come into its own at a moment like this. That certainly colored my arrival, and I think it certainly determined what happened subsequently, the things that I got involved in, the ideas that I had, the things that we worked on, the impetus that it provided us. And sometimes a crisis can provide an opportunity. I would argue that communication is fundamental to the OECD. It's existential for the OECD. I don't say that because I want to justify my job. It produces knowledge. It produces evidence. It also develops analysis and recommendations. But our power, our influence, is through communication. We have no direct influence, for example, through financing. We have no money to grant or to lend. We have no legal framework to constrain or to punish. The OECD is in a sense, it's front and center on the practice of communication, because that is what gives us the power and influence that we have. We're not involved in life and death issues, but we're involved in the issues that people care about in their everyday lives. Follow what you want to do. Study what you want to study. Go and work where you want to work. Go and live in the country you want to live in. The Millennials, they probably as a starting point, I think the advantage that I would say that they have, number one, is that they grow up in an environment where people are thinking, what's the purpose of what I do? And if that's their number one concern, brilliant, because I've always thought that was the thing that was going to most drive me. The options open now for Millennials fit with a career path that may be very varied. Equally, I would say there is a point in time where if you want to make a lasting difference, you may want to stick around somewhere. Not so easy to make a lasting difference if you flit from flower to flower.